There we go. Welcome everyone to Teach, a channel where we talk about all things teaching, mostly online English teaching. It's been a while since we've been live with any kind of content, specifically with our interviews that we do with online teachers that have at least some experience. So in the past, we've done many interviews with people who have been in online teaching for several months, even several years. And we thought it would be a good idea to maybe run another series of interviews, people coming on to share their experiences, the good, the bad, and the ugly of being an online English teacher. And so, since last year, and I've said this to quite a few people, we have seen quite an influx of people coming into the world of online ESL teaching that are either just before retirement, in the process of retiring, or just after retirement. And today's guest will be one of those candidates, not by any means saying he is old, not far not. He still has a lot to give. But I thought to invite one of the candidates that have completed their training with us at eTEFO Online. Believe it was probably about 2 months or so ago. And he's been launching his career as an online English teacher. And I thought we would invite him to have a conversation about his experience thus far. And so, with that said, I want to welcome Philip Schoeman onto the screen. And I believe everyone can see Philip now. Philip lives in a really, really lovely place. So I'm sure it really helps him with giving it his all and the energy that he brings to his lessons. But with that said, Philip, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Zander. I'll tell you that this wonderful place is wet and miserable today.
Oh, really?
Yesterday was glorious. Today is wet and miserable.
So I guess we'll keep it a secret where you're living and
Of
let
course. No, don't tell anybody.
let,
Don't tell.
let them
I
guess.
don't want to. I don't want people to come here at all. No.
Absolutely. Let them guess where you
Yes.
are from in today's interview. Great. Well, Philip, once again, thanks so much for your time. We're going to jump straight into it. These interviews are generally quite brief and just allow people who are maybe considering getting into the world of online teaching a bit of an insight into what it's like, what's been your experience. So there are really no wrong or right answers in today's interview. I want to sort of just talk about primarily three elements of your journey. Number one, just a bit of background as to your career before online teaching, like where were you in your life at that point, how it came about that you stepped into this industry, and then where you are at the moment as we're speaking about it today. So I guess let's start with the first question. Tell us a bit about your life before English teaching, your career, and sort of what's been transpiring in your life, let's say, for the past 2 to 3 years.
Okay. I've been working in the petrochemical environment since 1982. Makes me old. Makes me very old. Okay. And I've been working there on and off uh, as an operator. I started teaching, tutoring, mentoring people in 1985 was the first time I was told I need to teach people. And I was a bit shocked. I was 21 years old and I was told, you teach these 10 guys that came and joined the company. I did that. And fast forward, in 1999, I started to work in Saudi Arabia in the petrochemical industry. On and off, did 3 projects there. And the last one was with a company called Aramco. And I joined them as a technical trainer because of my knowledge of the petrochemical industry. I worked as a technical trainer for Aramco for 12 years. September 2023, my contract was up and I chose not to renew because I knew that I was not going to get leave to join my family for my 60th birthday. So since September 2023, I was on a gap year.
Well, I did not realize that people took gap years at that age.
Oh yes, no. I'm not on retirement. I'm enjoying a gap year, a very extended gap year, but gap year nonetheless.
Why not? Why not? So, okay, so you, I mean, looking at that explanation, you've had some training experience
Oh yes.
in the past. You were used to the idea of talking in front of a group of people, training them, sort of a systematic approach to teaching people new things. So it's not a
Yes.
completely foreign concept, although it was in a completely different sort of industry. So I guess the next question I have is talk a little bit about what made you even consider taking up online teaching as a career at this stage in your life.
So as I've been teaching before, sitting around the house and getting on my wife's nerves, and she said, "Why don't you do something? Just do something." No, and I decided to look into online teaching because some of the teachers I work with was TEFL certified. They weren't teachers as such in Saudi Arabia. And I thought, I'm going to try this. At that stage, it was really, really difficult to get into this. And I tried I looked just now before this interview in January 2024 with another company. I tried to do the course for a TEFL certification, and I found it an ordeal. I couldn't concentrate on it. It was really, really on an academic level, and I was just not ready for it. So what happened was I was looking at Isaac du Plessis' Nisport, and you had a little series of interviews with Isaac, and you explained what you were doing. And we thought, well, let's give it a go. Let me just try again and see what's going to happen. And I did. Yeah. I've got a timeline written down here. I can tell you exactly what happened.
Excellent. So before you and I spoke for the first time, you had already at least started a TEFL certification, or did you actually complete it?
I did not complete it. I found it. The English word is I found it mundane. I couldn't get no. I just couldn't do it. I wasn't in the right frame of mind.
Right.
I had too many other things happening in my life at that time. I couldn't spend the time to do it. So I gave it up. I just couldn't do it. Yeah.
Okay. And so then earlier this year, your wife convinced you to jump into it, try it again. Yeah.
We looked at we watched you on Nisport, and I said, oh, I think I need to try it again. And she said, okay, if you think so, take the money and we'll do that. And so I contacted you, and you had a webinar and you explained. And from the webinar, I decided to enroll, and I enrolled 23rd of February. So we watched you during January. You were on Isaac's program during January, and end of January, I decided I'm going to consider this. February, wrote you an email, and you had a webinar. I organized the webinar. On the 23rd of February, I enrolled. 17 March certified. So I really pushed it.
Wow. That's pretty quick.
I pushed it. Yes. No. I was excited, and I pushed it, and yes.
Excellent. So you completed your TEFL certification on March 17th.
Yes. then enrolled for the mentorship program. And if I can tell people, if you have the money, pay for that mentorship program.
Wow.
I don't know if you can remember what I told you about the end bit of the mentorship program. Yes. So now the mentorship program, wonderful people that host it. You had Pepe and Angus host this the mentorship, and it is just gives you an idea that you're not alone. There's others involved, and there's people that have gone before and that have walked the road and know what they're talking, and they come with a wealth of experience and just tell you that you're okay and you're going to be okay. But if people don't tell you that, it is daunting to sit on this side of a laptop or a PC and study and just send your stuff into the ether and hope that there's other people involved. But the mentorship program was great. No, it was great. It's worth its money. Yeah.
I will also mention Philip became one of our unpaid, unofficial mentors during the program.
As yes.
Other candidates
no.
reaching out for help. So
it is just technical stuff, the technical stuff. I had to bump my head a few times to get stuff right. And the stupid stuff that I got wrong and took me, it took me a bit of time to get things right. And it just takes time to understand it because there's no clear manual.
Yeah.
So I wrote a little manual.
There we go. We'd love for you to share that one day. So, Philip, let's fast forward a little bit. You've completed your TEFL certificate. You've completed the mentorship program. Now you're starting the process of submitting applications. Talk us through what that experience was like, and up until the point of finding your first student, that daunting first lesson with your student. Where was that student from? Give us a bit of insight into that.
Very interesting. I sent off emails, and I posted on LinkedIn, and I posted on Indeed, and during the mentorship program, you give us a list of stuff to do or places to go and send your CV to, and one of them was Preply. Also italki, and one of the others, I can't remember the name. They don't take people in anymore. But I was fortunate enough to be enrolled in Preply. It took me 4 days to get everything right, because I don't read the manual. I just do. So I enrolled in Preply, and I was accepted on Preply on 9 May, and I believe 15 May. On the 15th of May, I had my first trial lesson with my first student. And luckily, during the mentorship program, you shared a lovely piece of equipment to us. And I just used that, and that's what I use now. I tweaked it a little bit, but that's what I use. And it's given us a bit of results there. Yes, I know the video, you'll see that video there. I'm like that little rabbit in the headlights there. I am super tense. And I need to do a new video. My wife tells me every day, so you're going to do a new video? And I say, yes, but not today. Yes, so I've got 9 students at the moment. I've had up to 10. A few has fallen down the wayside. Because it's interesting that people will start the English language learning, and then they don't follow through, because I think they just bite off too much.
That's possible, but also something important to keep in mind at the moment, sort of June, July, August, it's summer holidays in the Northern
Oh,
Hemisphere.
yes. Yes.
Um,
Yes.
so
Yes.
even for me, I've been doing it for many years now, and every year this time I see a drop off in bookings from September on to October, November. You start seeing them pick up again. So it's sort of part of the annual rhythm of being an
Yeah.
online teacher. So looking at your profile here, Philip, it says you've done 141 lessons. You have 3 5-star reviews. So, which, I mean, considering for when you became active, is you're doing a pretty good job. You said you have 9 students. Tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about what kind of students are they? Working professionals from which countries?
I've got, it's very interesting. So I've got 8 working professionals. I'll read them. I've got them on the list there. I've got people from Brazil, Colombia, England, Poland, Spain, Malaysia, Austria, Brazil, Kazakhstan.
Wow.
Yes. And then I had a very interesting. I had a student enroll from the US, a grade 11 high school student, and his dad enrolled him. He wanted this boy to improve his English because on average he scores 85%. He wants to score 96, but it's recess time in the US in schools, and this is just too much for him. I think he just doesn't want to talk to this old man who pushes him to read and comprehend. Just doesn't want to do that. Yeah, he stopped it.
So you've taught mostly adults, some children.
Yes.
What's been your experience? Have you developed a preference?
I prefer adults. Very interesting. I'm having an interview tomorrow morning, 6:30, with or for a school in Vietnam. We'll see.
Well, it all adds up to the experience. So
No. I mean, I've got few guys that I work them through job interview preparation, and the first thing I tell them is, what can they do to you? They can't kill you.
exactly.
They can tell you no, but if you don't try, you can't be in it to win it if you don't try.
Exactly.
And I also explain very clearly that see this interview as a trial run for the next interview. So
Exactly.
I'm just going to go and do what I do. I work through the material that they've got. It's daunting. I printed off a rubric that I've got to do, and I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. So
That's for kids.
that was actually one of my next questions in terms of content. So you said that you've had some students that needed your help with interview preparation.
Yes.
What else do you do? What's the content like for the lessons, mostly with adults?
It's very interesting. I've got people that just want to read with me. I've got one student that just wants to read with me. I've got other students that want to do a little bit of English and they want to do this for promotion in their jobs. They want to interview preparation. They just want to talk. Some of them just want to talk with me. I've got one student, he's got 3 teachers. The guy in Venezuela, he's got 3 teachers. He's enrolled with 3 teachers, and he uses me. He just wants to talk to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's easy.
Yes. No. We chat about. Well, it was very easy with the FIFA World Cup. It was. It's talk and talk about the games. Yeah.
Of course. So as we end off, Philip, maybe a final question. You've been in it now for a couple of months.
Yeah.
What are some of the goals long term that you're looking towards?
Well, long term, I'd like to sustain it. I love doing this. I'd like to sustain it. I'd like to get to a place where I can do maybe 4 hours a day. At the moment, I'm doing just under 2 hours a day. I'd like to do about 4 hours a day, and yeah, that's all. That's all. I mean, I get so much out of it. I meet people from the craziest people. It's unbelievable the people that I've met. Yeah.
Yeah, it is one huge benefit of doing this as a career. So, Philip, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. I think you people seeing this, those people watching live right now, thanks so much for joining. Those watching the recording, drop your questions below. If you have any questions for me or for Philip, drop them below. I'll make sure Philip sees them. Will respond to those questions. But I remember, like before I got into this career, these types of conversations were the things that I was looking for, because as you mentioned earlier, it's such a daunting thing sitting at home alone on that side of your computer. You have no idea if this is going to work, if this is even viable for you, if people are even making a success of this. And what we're really trying to do with interviews like these is to just give people a bit more insight, share different stories with people, and maybe make it easier for them to take that next step, whether they feel like this is something they should do, or maybe interviews like these help people to say, I really don't think this is going to be a good match for me. So I really appreciate your time, Philip. Do you have any lessons left for the rest of the day, or you're done?
No, I'm done. Tomorrow morning, 6:30 interview, and then 3 lessons in the afternoon.
Excellent. Well, Philip, really appreciate your time. Good luck with your schedule tomorrow.
Thanks for having me.
We'll talk again soon. Thanks so much.
All the best. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.